Hey sewing friends, so welcome to Hashtag Friday Sews. And I'm just going to jump right in, show you what I've made and show you what my plans are, and then maybe talk a little bit about life at the end. So I wanted to clear out my stash and so I can make room for my fall and winter plans because I've been giving that a lot of thought. And I actually had these 3 pieces of cotton jersey from Art Gallery that I had. My original plan was to make some tank tops with them. So I decided to just get them sewn up for 2 reasons. One, because I like wearing a sleeveless tank. It's still warm here, so when I get home from work or on the weekends, I can put on a pair of tank tops with a pair of shorts. And then even though it's just beginning to get a little bit cooler, I mean just, degree by degree cooler, they're also great layering pieces, so they really work well with transition from summer to fall. And then also they're in the new color palette that I've chosen, so I'll tell you about that here in a minute. So anyhow, I've been wearing those a lot, so I don't really have any pictures of me. They're all in the dirty clothes or in the washer, but I did take a picture of them, and I'll go ahead and post them, of the finished product. So these are just real simple Lago tanks. It's a free itch to stitch pattern. You can sew them up literally in a couple of hours, like all 3 of them in a couple of hours. Probably the most difficult part, or the most time-consuming part, was having to change the thread in my cover stitch to get the top stitching and the hem stitching a matching color. So anyhow, those are done, getting a lot of wear out of them. We'll probably, as I said, layer them for the fall. Really like them. The next thing I made was another cashmerette Appleton dress. And again, it was out of this Art Gallery fabric, which I absolutely love. And again, it is in that colorway that I'm working with for my fall winter palette. So we have the green, we have with off-white flowers here, and then the little gold in the center of the flowers. And this is just a wrap dress. I think this is the 3rd one I've made, and this is the nicest one I've made too, actually. Yeah, I think I've made 3. And the reason being is I can really see an increase in my sewing skill. And I actually credit that to that Rhapsody project that I did, making all 9 sleeve versions, because I was doing repetitious sewing, doing the same thing over and over. And I don't like that word repetitious because that makes it sound boring. And I was never bored with any of it. But it was, I think people learn by repetition. So I was making the same pattern over and over. And then also I was sewing every night, just maybe 15 minutes a night, 30 minutes a night. Some nights I had longer, but on the ones that I didn't, I would still just come in, even if it was just cutting out the pieces. That's all I would do, and I would put it aside. And I like that it's long sleeve, and I love the Art Gallery cotton jersey. It's so soft and warm and snuggly. And you might think, okay, Carol, that doesn't make sense. You just said you wanted to wear your sleeveless tanks, and now you're talking about long sleeves and warm and snuggly. But the reason that works is because my office, one of the principals, the president's office is right behind me. And, we don't get really good ventilation, and he meets with clients a lot. And when he closes his door, his office gets really warm. And of course, if you're in there with clients, I've walked in and it's been kind of stuffy. So he'll go ahead and turn the air conditioning really low. I'm sitting out front and I will be freezing. So I like that I can, in the summertime, wear long sleeves or a jacket or a cardigan, and it works out well because our air conditioning is so high that it's, it's cold in the office. So then I decided that I wanted to start working on some pants, and the easiest ones to start with, of course, are the stretchy ones with an elastic waist. So I made 1 pair of the Style Arc Parker Ponte pants, and they fit me fine. They are something that I can wear. These I made out of the Arietta Ponte from Style Maker Fabrics. It's kind of a thick ponte. It really has some heft to it. And of course, they're a basic black ponte pant, so I know I'll get a lot of wear out of them. I probably should have shortened the rise on them. So I'll go ahead and show you a picture where, I put them on, and then you can see another picture where I was able to pinch out about 1 inch of the rise So they're not the perfect fit, but they definitely are wearable. And as I said, I'll get a lot of wear out of them. And I like that I made one of my Rhapsodies out of this animal print, because I think this is just an absolute perfect basic outfit that, you know, I get some gold earrings or something, and I think that's just a perfect fall/winter outfit to wear to the office. So I can see myself getting a lot of wear out of both of these garments. Then the Parker Ponte pants, it's really funny because they have a pocket on the back. You can see it in the picture, and you have a pocket piece. I don't know if you can even see that, but they completely leave how to attach a pocket to the pants off of the instructions. They don't mention it at all. And of course, if you're not familiar with it, you may not know that you need to do your pocket first. Otherwise, you've sewn your pants together, and then you have to make sure that you're only sewing, you know, you're not sewing through both your front and your back. But I kind of think it's sort of silly because, especially with black, I mean, I went ahead and put the pocket on, but you can't even tell it's there. And when you're wearing it, you really can't tell it's there. So Parker Ponte pants by Style Arc. Then my next pair of pants that I made, and I have a lot of plans for them. I had more Ponte knit from Style Maker, only this is their classic Ponte. The other was their Arietta. This is their classic Ponte. It's kind of more of a loose weave. I think it has a little bit more rayon in it. And I made these out of an olive green. And I don't know what color they're showing up. It looks like they're brown there on the camera, but they're kind of an olive green. And I just love these. I had made a pair before, I think in a size 20. And I thought they fit okay. I wear them pretty regularly. But really, I should probably, thought I could size down to an 18. So again, I went ahead and sized down to an 18, shortened the rise by an inch, and yeah, I really like these. And one thing that I did, different from the instructions, is usually when you sew pants together, they have you do sometimes the crotch seam first, or they'll have you do the inner seam, but you usually do the outside seam the last. I actually did it first so that I could add this seam, this little stitching here on the side. So I went ahead and sewed the front to the back, and then pushed my serging seam, or serger, you know, that little seam or whatever it is, to the side. And then I just did a straight stitch down the side, which again, nobody's really ever going to notice it. Only I know it's there. But I just feel it adds a little something, you know, just a little something extra versus just a plain pair of Ponte pants. So, yeah, these are my olive Ponte pants. And, you know, I'm really focusing on not having any orphans this year. So as I said, I do have some plans for this. Now the last thing that I was working on, and I'm almost finished, I just got some supplies that I needed to finish it, and this is my Kimball bomber jacket. Now you'll remember that I had originally bought this, dropping everything. I originally bought this knit fabric, or this wool fabric here, and I couldn't find a rib knit that would match. I think I ordered like five different ones in like different colors of brown or green or you know, the black. I just couldn't find anything that matched. So rather than keep buying ribbing, I decided to just go ahead and make my husband the Merchant & Mills, is that the Arbor? The Arbor shacket. It's, you know, shirt, jacket, shacket. So that's something that is on the list. So I ended up going to Britex Fabrics to find a new material for my bomber jacket. And I actually came out with this beautiful wool. Oh, it is so gorgeous. And I think that the brown rib knit matches just perfectly with it. I think it looks great together. And I had used, actually, when I went down there, I'd actually used this bomber jacket from Rag & Bones as my inspiration. I'll pop a picture of it. Rag & Bones, I think, is, a young person's retail store, and they're very expensive. The inspiration photo I'm showing you, I think that retailed for like $998. And it's actually made of cotton. Can you believe? I thought it was more like a tweed or a wool, but it says it's a Japanese cotton. I don't know if it's lined or not. I really didn't do a lot of research into it, but I did kind of like the look. So when I went into Britex, I thought, okay, I want something more of like a houndstooth or a tweed or something. And the woman, Lana, who was helping me, showed me this wool. And I just fell in love with it. As soon as I saw it, it was like everything else that she showed me didn't matter. I wasn't even interested in looking at anything new. So I went ahead and got this wool that already went with my brown ribbing. And then I plan on lining it, so we went ahead and matched up this really nice Bemberg lining to go with it. Then the inspiration photo from Rag & Bones actually had leather sleeves, so we were looking for a contrasting color to make the sleeves with. And I asked her, I said, by any chance, do you carry leather? And they did. So she went ahead and pulled out some, and we decided on this dark brown leather. It smells just like leather. And so I'm about 80% done. I have the lining mostly done. I just haven't connected it. I still need to do the cuffs and all. But what I was waiting for is the zippers. Because see, here you have two zippers on the side, and then you need the front zipper in the front and back. And the issue that I ran into is that the directions say, the instructions that come with the Cashmere bomber jacket, the Kimball bomber pattern. So you need a 22-inch separating zipper and two 7-inch pocket zippers. So I decided, let me get my bag here, that I wanted to use a metal zipper. Now I originally had a brass one, but then after I thought about it, I decided that I wanted the antique brass. I like that a little bit better. So I have the separating one for the middle, and then I have I just saw it there, my 7-inch ones. I bought two 7-inch ones for the pockets. So I went to go and insert the zipper on the pocket, and it's, I'm reading the instructions, and it says where to place the bottom and where to place the top, and then it says for any extra, just go ahead and cut it off. That would work if I had an invisible zipper or a nylon zipper. But with a metal zipper, you actually, in order to shorten it, you have to remove the very top of this zipper top, and then you have to remove all the teeth. And then you have to replace a zipper top. And I didn't have a zipper top, so I had to go back online and order them, and it just came today. Let me see, I just threw it in my drawer here. Bought 100 of them. You could either buy one pair or, and I have two zippers, maybe even a third if I have to shorten the separating one in front. So you could either order one pair or you could order 100. So I went ahead and got the 100 because I'm sure I'm going to have to practice. I don't know if you can see that. And what's really interesting is, everything, you just learn so much in doing a lot of these projects. When you sort of step out of your comfort zone and you do something that you've never done before, you just kind of learn. And it can be very frustrating because, I've had to go back and get different binding or cuffing. I've had to go back and get different zippers, and then I had to get different zipper parts. And apparently you have to get the right color, so they have to have the right color in stock because, you definitely don't want a bright white zipper top up here, or you don't want a bright gold. So I had to make sure it was in antique brass. And then you also have different zipper sizes. So this is like a 5 millimeter, and there's 3 millimeter, 5, 7. So, I had to go ahead and make sure. I actually went to Wawak to order them because that's where I got the zippers from. And they didn't have the 5 millimeter in antique brass. they had it in brass, but not in antique brass. So then I went to a different company, zippershippers.com, and they had the correct size and color. So I'm hoping to get my zippers installed today, and then, or excuse me, tomorrow, and then I'm hoping to get my whole jacket finished this weekend. And I am real thrilled about that because I actually bought enough fabric left over that I can make a skirt. I have enough for a skirt and the lining, so I can make a matching skirt, which I think will be fun. And then also, when you get back to my Ponte pants, with the, I don't know if you can see, but the Ponte doesn't look so great on camera, but actually in real life, the jacket and the Ponte, the pants actually look good together. So I'm excited to wear those and get those done. I just need the temperature to drop below 82 degrees, which it will eventually. So it has really been fun sewing the Kimball Bomber jacket. I've had two other people, Amy and Kim, join me, and we just have weekly Saturday Zoom calls where we talk about our plans, any issues that we have. We share our progress and all, so it's been really great. I'm hoping we all get ours done here in September. And then I was kind of looking at October, what I could make in October, and to see if anybody wanted to join in and sew along with me as well. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know that I'm that impressed with the Cashmerette Club patterns. But I did think, I'll give it another try. I'm thinking, it's not set in stone, but I'm thinking of maybe making, it's a kind of a more recent one, their Creston jeans, and then also their Carlisle t-shirt. Now the Carlisle t-shirt, I don't want the poofy sleeves, but I do want to make the square neck because I think mitering those corners will be a new skill that I've never done. And then I don't have a square neck t-shirt, so I thought I could make that and then pair it with the Creston jeans. But again, I'm kind of concerned about that because I was trying to find who else had made them. So I was trying to look on Instagram, and I did like hashtag Creston jeans, Creston jeans, Creston, Cashmerette Creston jeans. And I'm not finding anybody who's posted them. So I don't know if I'm just looking, not finding them, or if nobody's making them. So I don't know if anyone has any suggestions and wants to make something on the Cashmerette Club with me. Let me know. I'll be glad to jump in there. My goal is to give all these patterns a try so I can have an honest assessment, so I can decide if the club is something I want to go forward on. And in fact, I think on the Creston jeans there is a sew along and a tutorial or something worth watching. So, just food for thought on that. So that's what I've been working on. What my plans are, it's kind of interesting because this is where my sewing's going to kind of take a pivot. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that, I've been doing a lot of thinking the past couple of weeks, which of course we all know, not a good idea to think too much, Carol. But I've been thinking, and I'm realizing that I've bought a lot of fabric and made a lot of plans that I never really, nothing ever materialized. I just sort of pushed them aside, and I know the reason why. A lot of it is because it's out of my comfort zone. It would entail toiling something, making adjustments, maybe making another toile, and something that would just, just out of my comfort zone. So I kind of just pushed it aside and kept doing things that I felt were easy, something that I felt, comfortable with. And then I have to say that, I'm just feeling a little bit more confident in my skills. So I feel like I can tackle something with a little bit more meat to it. And then also, these are clothes I want to wear. They're clothes I want to make, I want to wear. And the fabric's just been sitting up there in my stash, some for years. So I figured it is time to switch gears and make the clothes that I want to wear, even if it's a little out of my comfort zone, even if it's going to entail, doing a little research, doing a little practice. And then also I realized that I have clothes, but I don't really have a wardrobe. And that was my plan, was to make like a wardrobe. And I kind of deviated from that. No, I didn't deviate. I lost sight of that. So what my goal is for winter, fall and winter, I first decided on a color palette because I want everything to coordinate and be cohesive so that everything goes together. You know, I have enough orphans in my closet to last a lifetime. So to make it a little more cohesive, I said, let's decide on a color palette for this season. And the colors that I decided, I'm sure you've noticed, green, brown, mustard gold, and then my off-white ivory. Now, it doesn't mean that's the only colors I can make or buy or have in my wardrobe. Those are just kind of like the basics. And then, of course, I can bring color in to go with them, but I'm going to try and focus around those 4 colors. And then I'm also going to try and work from my stash. So my next project that I'm going to do that has a little bit more meat to it, it's actually to coordinate with my olive ponte pants. And what I want to do is make this very easy Vogue vest. But it's not going to be very easy because I'm going to make some changes to it, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I want to do this longer version, and the reason being is I think I feel more comfortable with clothes that kind of maybe go over my belly a little bit more. So versus the short one that's a little cropped, I want to do the long one. Now, I'd made this before, actually a long time ago, when I sort of just sort of was dipping my toe back into sewing. I mean, I think it was the first thing I'd made in a lot of years, and I didn't really understand how patterns were made or designed or how there were slopers or anything. So I just made it up straight out of the pattern, and it fit okay, but it wasn't that great. And of course, now I realize that I need to do a full bust adjustment because the sloper for this is probably a B cup and I'm a D cup. And in looking at it, I will probably, it's princess seam, so I'll probably have to also lower the apex. And this is a semi-fitted pattern, but I want to make it a little bit more fitted. So I'm going to have to go ahead and make some adjustments there. And then, it is a lined pattern, but they basically, you just have your shell and your lining and you put it together, and that's the vest. But the fabric that I want to make this out of, I think deserves just a little bit more than that. Here, let me show you. I have had this gorgeous Irish wool in my stash for years and years and years. I originally wanted to make like a vest, one of those, like a fleece vest that a simplicity vest pattern that I had. But then I soon realized that it was a little bit more complicated than I thought. One was because I need to line it because this is a very itchy wool, so I would definitely want a lining. And then trying to find a zipper that would match either of these colors was just going to be too much work. So I decided on the vest, and I thought that it would go very well with these ponte pants that I made. But because this is such a nice fabric, I just don't want to make it up and then line it. I want to use some of the features that are in the Miller waistcoat. So let me show you the toile that I made, and I'll show you the adjustments that I plan on making to the vest. So this was my toile of the Miller waistcoat, and again, it's a lined vest or waistcoat. But they actually have a facing on the inside instead of just the lining coming straight up to the edge. So I want to go ahead and add the facing to this Vogue pattern. And I think that's just some simple pattern drafting that I can trace off of the patterns. I think that's pretty easy. As well as this down here on the bottom in the front. It has this facing as well, which again is just cutting a strip and putting in the seam allowance and then shortening the lining to accommodate this. So that's what I'll do. And then I think I also want to add welt pockets to it as well, just because I think, I'll have to give it some thought. I just think it would be a little bit nicer look. So that is my first kind of meatier project that I have going on. Now I am going to have to toile this. So what I thought would be fun is we do have Halloween coming up, right? And this is probably really silly, but this is what I want to do because that's how I do. That's how I roll. Where is that fabric? Here it is. So I went ahead and found this really cute. It's a Halloween fabric, but it kind of reminds me of almost like a Victorian, a Halloween. It's yeah, and if you look at this lady here, there is a little bit of olive-ish green, and you got some orange here, and you've got a little punky head. Here's your little punky head, and that's orange. So I thought I would make my wearable toile out of this, and that would go also very well with either my olive Ponte pants or the black Parker Ponte pants. And I thought it would be fun because this year I think Halloween is on a Tuesday, so I can go ahead and wear this to work and then on Halloween, and then also wear it that night, giving out candy when, you know, the little ones come trick-or-treating at the house. So that's my kind of plans for the vest, to do a little wearable toile, making the adjustments with this cute fabric, and then the final project in this super, super nice Irish wool that I just love. Then as far as life goes, not a lot's going on. It's just sort of, you know, which is good. I guess no news is good news. Just wake up, go to work, come home, do some sewing, have the weekend, work in the garden, plan on getting some hiking done this week maybe, now that the big heat has left, so it's a lot cooler to go up into the Sierras rather than going up when it's 80 degrees or 90 degrees up there. But that's really all that I've been up to. So let me know if anyone's interested in making any cashmerette patterns for the October Cashmerette Club that I'm doing. It is a lot of fun to meet weekly and discuss, you know, what we're doing and what we're working on. And yeah, I have a new series that I'm started. It's called Monday Night Live, because it's just a live conversation where I talk about sewing related topics, fashion and sewing related topics. And it's just a way for me to sort of say things that are on my mind. And it might be fun to get some conversation going. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye.